What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to the East Unplugged, and this is the 2023 Hurricane. So what does that mean? So this is basically a love child of dragon scooters. It's both a beast and a lightning smashed together, and with this we've got this beautiful outcome of this scooter. So specs on this one are 72 volt system in this thing with 40 amp sine wave controllers. Now this thing, when it's fully charged, it peaks out at 6,720 watts. That means that it has, if you're in just in single motor alone, you have 3,360 watts, nearly as much power in just one wheel than the Lightning V2. That's insane. It is so close to being just a whole, like, the Lightning is amazing on its own, and this thing is so much fun to ride, guys. Like, I literally cannot express that enough. On-road, off-road, everything like that. So yeah, this is really, really cool. So what we're gonna do is gonna get you up nice and close. We're gonna run through everything, go from the top of the bars, work our way down, show you that folding mechanism, show you anything else that we can find on the way. So let's get in close. So up top, guys, very noticeably, it's obviously got the double stem from the new 2023 Beast. We'll start from here, work a couple of things out. So it does have NFC card reader. So we just tap that on there. We've got a voltage readout. We've also got a park gear, and you can click through, go into your gears, obviously gear 3 and gear 1. If you let it sit there for a little bit, you'll find that it will actually put itself into park, which is great, in case you don't want to touch that throttle because it is instant. We've got a dual and single motor button here, which is exactly like the old one on the Lightning V2. Front brakes over here with a reservoir glass, which is really cool to see, something different from Dragon. Over here, obviously rear brake, hydraulic as well, with that little see-through glass. And of course, up top here, we now got our lights, horn, and we can now have hazards. So we can click both of the indicators and they both turn on, which I actually really like. Coming up to the bars again, we've got a nice little clamp here with the Dragon scooters on there, looking really nice with the red. Also gives us room for modifying and making and getting bigger, cooler bars. Working our way down, we then got this massive box here that has Hurricane stickers. We've got the big Hurricane on the front there. This is actually where the controllers sit. So they're in ample cooling area here. Wind gets to pass through, cool down the controllers. We then have this big beast clamp. So we just basically open both sides, simply just slide them up on both sides, and then you just fold it down. Now I have noticed that there is no clip here to pick up the scooter, and as well with that is with picking up the scooter. With picking up the scooter, which then brings me to how much it weighs. Now this scooter is definitely not a light scooter. It has currently weighed on my scales at home at 50.8 kilograms, so give it a roundhouse figure of 51 kilograms. So it is quite a heavy scooter, but the build quality on this thing is just insane. Everything is steel. There's no plastic here, except for the mudguards. And the side plates here are obviously plastic as well. They're gonna get a bit roughed up, so good that they're plastic and able to be swapped out and whatnot. So locking it back into place, we grab this and we sit it straight on this edge here, lock it down. Very simple. And in here, we've got obviously the power controller wires going in, going into the deck of the scooter. We've got the little owl. This owl actually has a really cool light. It actually has like a white light, and then it's also got a yellow light. I find the yellow light really good at night for actually picking up bumps and things that you wouldn't often usually see. It just helps highlight it, which is really nice. Of course, coming down here, we've got full hydraulic shocks. Amazing. These things are awesome off-road. At first, they are a bit stiff, but they do bed in just like any shocks. We've got 140mm fully hydraulic brakes on both front and back. Hydraulic front forks, hydraulic rear shock as well. And of course we've got our tail lights up here, along with our indicators down there as well. So lightning rear end basically, so you still got the lightning rear mudguard, but the lightning lights in the bottom there, which are just beautiful. I love the scooter for this. As well as around the front here, obviously there's the little owl, we've got the yellow and the white. We've still got our side little party lights here at the front. As well as we have dual charge ports. So we've got one on this side, looks to be anti-spark, and another on this side. Really, really cool. So I myself am 178 centimeters tall, and this is my ride position on this. Oh. And that seems about my ride position. Definitely not cramped at all, a lot of real estate, and well, bars are, feel really nice. Not too tall, not too short, pretty much bang on for my height. I dare say maybe a couple of people that are a little bit taller than me might find it a little bit too short, but again, that comes into that brilliant clamp that Dragon have already thought of. You can get riser bars for it and get it to suit your position perfectly. Speaking of deck space, obviously in here, we can open this deck up. However, it is not recommended. You cannot remove this battery, unlike the Lightning V2. So it is permanently in there. Inside of there, again, 72 volt, 35 amp hour, guys. That is massive. Now I have a Nami and I had the 32 amp hour battery, and I managed to get 150 kilometer range out of that. So being this has got a little bit more amp hour, it would not surprise me if this thing can get over 150. So not going to be surprised there if this thing gets a massive range. That is going to be left into another video, but for now, how does this thing go off-road? Let's find out. Alright guys, so we've made it out to my favorite off-road track. Let's get you on me, let's get you on this scooter, and let's go for a bit of a ride through some rough terrain. Alright guys, let's hit it. Let's go up those trails. Let's get this going. Dual motor, let's go. Alright guys, so just so you guys know, I am in gear 1, single motor, and I'm just going up these dirt hills. And for anyone that's ever watched or gone off-road with the e-scooter, being in single mode is like, nah man, I won't make it up these hills. And I can tell you right now, there is plenty, and it's so hard to demonstrate actually how big these hills are, but they are incredibly big. Oh man, it's single. So the cool thing about the Hurricane is the front forks are what they call forged steel. So they are incredibly strong, and you can put up with a real hard bit of brutal off-roading like we are today, and it'll just sit there and take it all day long. So this thing is just built different. This thing is so nice. Now if I wanted to, jump in a dual, and she just becomes just an absolute animal. Oh, this thing's so much fun. So at the moment, we're doing 30 going through here, guys. It just doesn't look like I'm going very fast, but I can believe you right now, it's giving my legs a damn good workout, as well as my skills. Oh, there's just so much power on tap. All right, I'll take it slow through here because we really don't want to fall down there. Yeah, guys, this thing rips off-road. Hopefully this footage is showing you where we're going, guys, because it's pretty hectic. There's a couple of really big bumps here, and it's just taking it. What an awesome scooter this is. This thing rips. Oh, it's so good. Now, one thing I've got to admit here, guys, even though this thing's 51 kilos, it doesn't feel like 51 kilos. Like, you can throw it about and it does not, it has the same like agility as like a 30 kilogram scooter. You can just really throw it around, even though it's a 50 kilogram scooter and it's got all that power. You can really throw it around. You can still throw it around like if it's a 30 kilogram scooter. It doesn't feel like 51 kilograms, but it's just got all the power in the world to be able to take you anywhere, and the range. So if you wanted to go, you know, through here and explore out into here, I say this scooter is definitely worth the money if you are after something that can do everything. I know it's heavy, but you win some, you lose some. There's always a take. But this is so good. So let's get some more little shots. Let's go back to the road and see how it performs on the road. All right, guys, so road test. We're just going to use a little bit of, you know, S-bends over here. We're just going to use this car park. It's not being used at the moment, which is pretty ideal for what we're going to be using it for. So we're in gear 1, which is its eco setting, 2 is standard, and 3 is obviously sport mode. So let's keep it in gear 1 and see how we go. Off the bat, guys, this thing is very, very, very responsive. So even though finger trigger, it's no real dead zone. There's like, you can slowly pour it on and it does exactly that. That trigger is so nice and progressive. Anyway, even with that, guys, like even though it's in eco mode, just because it's in single eco mode, this thing's got that much power, you can just wheelie. It's so easy. Even in eco, it's got so much power. How does it feel going down hills? The brakes feel beautiful, actually, to be honest. Speaking of, when I first got this scooter, I did need to bleed in the brakes, bed in the brakes. So you basically get up to about 30 kilometers an hour, pull the brakes a little bit, and don't come to a complete stop. You need to keep rolling a couple times after that, and then you'll feel they really start to bite into the rotors. So, but yeah, this is feeling great. The regenerative braking is not over the top, which feels great. Yeah. Overall, this thing feels so sturdy too, guys. Like, wow. Okay, the only thing I can really point out is obviously at lower speeds around about, let's have a look. Yeah, about 15 kilometers an hour. We get a nice big vibration because of the big dirt tires. So powerful. Like, it's just too easy to do a wheelie. Oh, it's so much fun. It handles and it's built so well and so stiff and so together. It's just playful. Like, it's a 50 kilogram scooter, guys, and I'm just throwing it around like it's nothing. Like, obviously this thing would handle so much better with road tires, and that is probably going to be my first modification for this, because this is now the new DC Unplugged Daily. I love this thing. As soon as I got it, I had to ring Bike Scooter City and say, look, man, can't give it back to you. So, speaking of, pricing is what I've been told is around about the $4,000 mark, give or take. So they haven't released the price to me yet. I'm still waiting myself for a price, but they have given us this to obviously range test, review, everything like that. Man, it even feels great through these corners. You can really lean it over even with the dirt tires. Wow. Yeah, it feels great, guys, honestly. Well done, Dragon, well done. So you've seen the scooter on-road, you've seen the scooter off-road. This thing is incredible. And if Bike Scooter City do keep this scooter under $4,000, it is unbeatable for value. Like, this is just insane. The power that this thing makes, the build quality, that progressive thumb throttle, you've got NFC card reader, you've got everything you possibly need. You've got a really bright headlight for nighttime riding, whether that be a bush or normal riding. You've got massive amounts of range. Obviously, all of that great things do come at a cost of a little bit of weight. So this scooter is 51 kilos, but for me, I don't really lift these scooters up that much, so weight isn't too much of a factor for me. And this is just absolutely stunning. Dragon, you've done bloody well for yourself on this build. It is so good. I love this scooter so much. Anyway, guys, I hope you all liked the review. I hope there was certainly enough detail in there. If you did like the review, please guys, like and subscribe, all that lovely stuff. It really helps me get more videos out to guys like you. And yeah, we'll be able to share some more content. Anyway guys, I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.